This is Josiah Plays the Warlock of Firetop Mountain. Hello and welcome to another one-shot video testing out a new game that's just came out very recently on Steam. And I am trying it out here. This is not a full playthrough, necessarily. It may turn into a full playthrough, we'll see. But at this point, I'm not guaranteeing that it's a full playthrough. Just checking it out. The Warlock of Firetop Mountain. This is based on an old fighting fantasy game book. I used to like these game books a lot when I was a kid. I didn't like them as much as the Lone Wolf series, but I did like the fighting fantasy books as well. This is based on the very first fighting fantasy game book, in fact, which was called, I bet you can't guess, The Warlock of Firetop Mountain. They've made it into a 3D video game here, and I saw a little bit of it and it looked cool, so I decided I had to check it out. Had to try it. So we're gonna jump right in here. I've played just a very few minutes of the beginning of this just to test out the sound and recording and stuff like that, and make sure it all worked. So we're gonna start a new game. Here we have an interesting looking woman. This is one thing that's really cool in this game, is if you click on the art, it'll show you like the black and white version. The black and white version actually looks really cool, and then there's the colored version of the art. So who is this mysterious figure? Welcome back, player. Who are you, Oriana? Apparently I know who she is. Apparently she's Oriana. I'm repeating myself, player, but no matter. I am Oriana, the Keeper of Souls, your guide and your game master of sorts. Alright, so basically she's the GM. Many adventurers have entered Firetop Mountain over the last 30 or so years. Voracious readers have wandered the many passages, battling the monsters within, and negotiating the many traps, only then to take on the might of Zagor the Warlock. With skill, stamina, and luck, they have chosen their many paths and rolled their fate. Many of these brave young adventurers have perished in the darkness, and their souls even now lie unclaimed. You appear to be the next brave soul to take on the mountain and all it contains. To do this, you will need to choose an Alancian hero to take into the mountain. Don't get too comfortable with your choice, however, as the ways are treacherous and it is doubtful that you will survive. Only by bringing me the souls of the fallen may you be blessed with new heroes over time, each with their own quests within Zagor's domain. And now it is time to select our hero. Alright, so as you can see here, there are a lot of heroes theoretically available. There's all these, the legendary heroes, there's the epic adventurers, there's the intrepid explorers, but you notice how these are the only ones in color, and the other ones are all kind of grayed out? That's because I don't actually have these heroes. In order to get one of these heroes, I would have to buy them for souls, and you collect souls by playing the game. Each one has their own soul cost. So right now, I only have these 4 to choose from. I really like the aesthetic they're going for here. This is like old school, like D&D miniatures. You know, they've got their little base and everything. They're like painted miniatures. So we have 4 to choose from right now. We're going to check all 4 of them out before we select one. So the first one is Lunica Ikadi. She has 17 stamina, which I don't know if that's particularly good or not. 9 skill I think is decent, and 10 luck. I think 10 luck is good. Lunica is a keen explorer, especially of the bustling cities that she had previously thought were only legend. Every new person, place, or object she encounters is thoroughly questioned, explored, or examined before she rushes on to the next exciting discovery. Her endless enthusiasm can be tiring for her adventuring companions who take their civilized surroundings for granted. She tends to keep a memento from each new location she visits, keeping them in her pack or hanging them from her armor. So she sounds pretty cool. She's got a spear and a dagger, and she's an explorer, and I like explorer types. Her attributes, each character has their own little special bonuses that help with different things throughout the adventure. She has a keen eye. She will notice things that would normally be unseen or ignored. I like that a lot. And she is dexterous, has great speed, agility, and precision. And each character has their own type of attacks that they can do in combat. So she's got a front attack, a left slash, single strike directly in front. Lunica lashes out with her dagger. That hits in front and to the left. And then she's got a poison strike. Lunica has found poisons to be a particularly effective way to wear down her foes over time. Targets hit by this attack take +1 extra damage over the next 3 rounds, and it hits 2 squares in front of her. So those seem pretty cool. 17, 9, and 10 is what she's working with. Next guy is Decian Strom. He's got 19, 8, and 9, so he's got 2 more stamina than her, but he has less skill and less luck. He's got a crossbow on his back, though, and some kind of cutlass here. And he looks like quite a stalwart adventuring type. A soldier for hire, Decian Strom earns his living escorting merchant wagons to and from Sardath, the city of his birth. An arrogant but skilled warrior, Decian always looks out for himself first. When bandits ambushed his convoy on the road to Zengis, Decian was forced to fight his way to safety at a nearby village. Near penniless and far from home, the mercenary is looking for his next big payday. So he also has Dexterous and Keen Eye, the exact same abilities that the first character had. His attacks are a little different. He's got a single strike directly in front. Now he's got a right attack, a single strike to the right. That hits diagonally right to him. He's got a right slash. Decian puts his mercenary skills to use with this simple yet effective attack in front of him and to the right. And he's got a dodge bolt. Decian brazenly fires off a bolt from his crossbow, then ducks to the side for cover. Looks like he shoots 2 at a distance and then moves to one side. That seems like a really useful ability. Alright, so that's Decian Strom. Our next choice is Alexandra of Black Sand. She's got a sword and a dagger. She looks kind of like a rogue. Got the purple cape going on. She has 18 stamina, 10 skill, 8 luck. So that's the highest skill we've seen so far, but her luck isn't quite as high. Decent stamina, though. The warrior known as Alexandra of Black Sand is famed for her many adventures. Her name is known in many parts of Alancia. No matter where she is, Alexandra has a knack for sniffing out trouble and gold. An experienced adventurer with a deft sword arm, she can sense dangerous situations before they happen and has built up a good reputation for completing quests quickly and diplomatically, reducing the need for unnecessary conflict. That sounds good. She is educated, has an above-average level of education, and she is lucky. Fortune favors you often. Those seem like really good traits. She's got a single strike directly in front, the standard front attack that everyone seems to have. Right attack, a single strike to the right, again attacking diagonally. Piercing strike, strikes up to 2 enemies directly in front of Alexandra. Piercing strike, that looks good. And a quick jab. Alexandra strikes with near lightning speed. This attack will hit before the target can move. And it does 3 damage to somebody 1 square away before they can move, which is a big deal. Alright, so she seems cool. And the last one we can choose is Aaron Godspeed. He kind of looks like a monk type. He's got 2 swords. He's got foot wraps and arm wraps and a headband. He's very monastic looking. Well, martial arts type monk, not so much monastery type monk. He has the most stamina, a decent amount of skill, very low luck though compared to everyone else. Born in Fang many moons ago, Aaron is seen as a hero to the locals there. His approach in battle is simple and direct. Charge forwards, chopping left and right with such force and speed so as to quickly put his enemy off balance. Should they manage to sneak a blow in under this onslaught, it will likely brush off Aaron's impressive physique as if it were a scratch. How Aaron's mother, a diminutive seamstress, managed to produce such a gigantic warrior is anyone's guess. One popular theory is that giant's blood runs in his veins through some distant ancestor. Alright, so he's a kind of a badass. He is illiterate. Reading is not your strong suit, so that seems like more of a disadvantage than anything else. But he is also fearsome. A terrifying appearance can strike fear into others. He's got the front attack, single strike directly in front, the right attack, single strike to the right. Those are pretty standard. Then he's got Blade Storm. Aaron whirls his swords around him in a deadly arc and does 3 damage to 3 different squares around him. That is badass. And he's got Charging Twin Strike. In one fluid movement, Aaron charges forward, striking at foes either side of him. So he moves forward a square and hits both guys on the sides of him for 3. That's he's got some pretty beefy attacks there. And a lot of stamina. So those are our 4 choices. I think to start things off, I'm going to go with Alexandra of Black Sand. She has the highest skill. She's got Educated and Lucky, both of which sound really good. She's got some nice moves. We're gonna try her at first. And then when she dies, if she dies, which I think she probably will, this is kind of roguelike, I think, where your character probably dies a lot and you start over with a different character. We'll try somebody different. You have chosen Alexandra of Black Sand. If you like, you may select a different hero. If you are happy with your choice, then you may travel to Firetop Mountain and start your adventure. Alternatively, if you want to take part in a combat tutorial, activate free read mode, or want to learn more about the rules of the game, select tutorial rules and free read. Let's select tutorial rules and free read. The one-armed sword master of Anvil, Lin Winsai, is available for combat training by selecting Learn to Fight. Each hero has different combat moves, so return here often to test them out. If you are new to the fighting fantasy rules, then you may wish to learn about stamina, skill, and luck. I will also explain the use of resurrection stones and resting benches. Alternatively, you may want to activate free read mode. I will explain more about this cheater's paradise if you select this option. Let's learn to fight. During your adventures, you will encounter many different foes. Magical and monstrous, brigand and beast, there will be an assortment of creatures lurking within Firetop Mountain, eager to bring your adventure to a premature end. But let us learn to walk before we start running, shall we? Lin Wensai wants you to fight some Quintains, which will allow you to experience some basic combat practice. Fight the Quintains! And this brings up the combat interface. There's our character. There's a Quintain. It's time to fight. During combat, you can choose to move or attack by selecting a space. Select move to advance towards the Quintain. There's our stats, our 10 skill, 18 stamina, 8 luck. When I click on this, it changes the orientation of the camera from kind of a top-down to a more isometric perspective. So I click here, then I click move. After you select your action, both you and your opponent will play out their moves simultaneously. Move to the side to avoid the Quintain's attack. So both of us say what we're going to do, then all of the actions happen at the same time, like it just said. So we both moved up simultaneously. So I'm going to move to the side. And he attacks where I was. Sometimes it is better to attack where the enemy is likely to move to, instead of where they currently are. Attack the space in front of the Quintain. So here we're predicting that the Quintain is going to move forward like this, and we're going to attack that square. Whack! Get you a 2-piece. If both you and a foe try to attack each other at the same time, you will clash. It is then a test of who has the greatest skill, with the loser taking damage. Attack the Quintain and clash. I like the clash. Alright, we're going to attack each other. Clashing, so we roll dice. We add our 10 skill, he adds his 2 skill. Your enemies will move and attack in somewhat predictable patterns. Pay attention to when they shake to indicate that they'll be attacking next round. Use your movement and attacks to defeat the Quintain. So it moves over there. It's going to attack because it shook. Oh, I got this. You were triumphant and I got a soul. Oh, fight! Here we go. Now I have to fight 2 of them at once. Shit just got serious. In addition to the basic attacks, your hero has special attacks they can unleash. These powerful attacks can take several turns to recharge, so use them sparingly. Defeat this pair of Quintains. So here, if I want to use Quick Jab, I can. That one's about to attack. I don't think it can attack diagonally, though. I think it's gonna move now. It moves over there. Alright. Now it's gonna attack for sure. I attack here. Now it's gonna attack me in this square for sure. I move over here, it attacks that square. It's gonna move over there next time. So... it's gonna attack right here. You were triumphant! Didn't even take a scratch. Not a scratch. You have defeated the Quintains! Victory! You lost no stamina, you gained 3 souls. Well done! You seem to have mastered the basics with ease. You are almost ready to begin your journey into Firetop Mountain. Would you like to do anything else before you leave? Yeah, let's learn about stamina, skill, and luck. Why not? Your hero starts the adventure with 3 main scores: skill, stamina, and luck. Your skill reflects your swordsmanship and general fighting expertise. The higher, the better. Your stamina score reflects your general constitution, your will to survive, your determination, and overall fitness. The higher your stamina score, the longer you will be able to survive. Your stamina is essentially your hit points. Your luck indicates how naturally lucky a person you are. Luck and magic are facts of life in Alancia. Your skill, stamina, and luck scores change constantly during an adventure. The adventure sheet will keep a record of these changes. Note that although you may be awarded additional points, these totals will never exceed your initial scores, except on very rare occasions. During your adventure, you will be called upon to test your luck and test your skill. If the number rolled on 2d6 is equal to or less than your current luck or skill score, you have been lucky or skillful. If the number rolled is higher than your current luck or skill score, you have been unlucky or unskillful. Be warned, your luck score will always reduce by 1 every time you test your luck. Sooner or later, your luck will run out. That sounds ominous. With this information in mind, you may wish to select a different hero. Alternatively, you may wish to know more about resurrection stones and resting benches. Yes, I want to know all about those things. Tell me more. While on your quest, keep an eye out for wooden benches like this one. Oh, that's what it looks like. Rest ye here, weary traveler. Nice little bench. We can see it in black and white. You can see it in color. Black and white. Color. Black and white. Color. Using them will allow you to restore your stamina. If you run out of stamina, your adventure ends, so be sure to take a rest now and then. You also have some provisions which you can use at any time, but they tend to work best when you are resting at a bench, so keep that in mind. You will receive 3 resurrection stones at the start of your quest. If your adventurer dies heroically, you can use 1 stone to bring them back to life. Be warned, though, that your hero will only appear at the last bench that you passed. But worry not, you will keep all souls absorbed between the seat and the location of their death. That's good. Keeping the souls is good. This is where I leave you, player. It is time for you to begin your journey. Alright, let's continue with the hero that we selected. Let us now travel to Firetop Mountain. I will only move by bouncing everywhere I go, like a gummy bear. Bouncing here and there and everywhere. Alright, here we go. Well, there's a lot of reading in this, just like a game book, but it's not purely reading. It's also got a 3D graphical component. Looks pretty cool. The villagers of Anvil cheered with excitement as you began your 2-day hike to Firetop Mountain. Cries of, "Return to us safely, Alexandra!" and "May the luck of the gods be with you!" rang out. Your fame reaches even to remote towns like Anvil. Your mysterious patron, a sorcerer known to you only as Kith, wants you to seek a massive ruby known as the Eye of the Cyclops, and give it to Zagor, the warlock who rules this mountain. When you asked Kith about the significance of the ruby, the sorcerer only smiled and said, "You'll see." So, here's what's interesting about this. Each of the different characters you can select, in addition to having different stats and attacks, have their own different quest in the mountain, and they get like some different options of things they can do throughout the adventure that the others can't do, which is pretty cool. So you can get a different experience by playing a different character. The citizens who live in the foothills of the mountain fear Zagor, and have been very reluctant to tell you anything that may help you find him, fearing for their own safety. You have mixed feelings about the adventure ahead, and you just hope that Kith's instructions are honorable, and that you do not let the local people down. One thing is clear, though. You will not be dealing with any ordinary wielder of magic. You must be on your guard. Alright, so we need the Eye of the Cyclops. It takes you 2 days to reach the menacing-looking mountain with its sharp, rocky crags that jut out at unnatural angles. At the top, you can see the eerie red coloring, probably some savage vegetation, which has given the mountain its name. That's why it's called Firetop Mountain, apparently. You approach a cave, a known entrance used by a local band of orcs, your hand gripping the hilt of your longsword as you consider what dangers lie ahead. Your adventure starts here. Dun dun dun. Getting dramatic. Oh, and here's the illustration. There's the cave. There's skulls on sticks outside. And there it is in black and white. Very cool looking in black and white. Alright. Peer into the gloom. Oh, and here we are at the dungeon proper. You see dark, slimy walls with pools of water on the stone floor in front of you. The air is cold and dank. Hearing faint scurrying to the east, you light your lantern. With the smell of orc up my nose... Actually, I think Alexander should have more of a... With the smell of orc up my nose, I have a feeling I'm going to meet some formidable foes. That ruby is in this mountain somewhere, so I'm going to have to ask politely. Using my sword, of course. She talks to herself. You know, because like you do. Step warily into the blackness. Yeah, each character has their own, like, their own individual dialogue and stuff as well. You stand in the dark, slimy cave entrance. I can approach the fork ahead. Let's take a look at what we've got here. This brings up my character sheet. I have the 3 resurrection stones. I have a sword, a dagger, 5 provisions, 5 gold, a lantern, a backpack, and a rope. There's my quest. Kith has requested you give a ruby known as the Eye of the Cyclops to the Warlock Zagor. Here's my bio again, my attributes, my attacks. So that's that. What is this? That brings up the exact same thing. Is that a back button? Maybe. Brings up the settings. I've already set everything how I want here. Alright. So, it's time to approach the fork ahead. I will bounce over there. Bup, bup, bup. I love the way it builds out the dungeon. As though, you know, and the enemies are on, like, miniatures on bases, and it's like tabletop dungeon terrain that you might use to build out a physical dungeon, and it sort of builds as you go ahead. It's pretty cool. After a few yards, you arrive at a junction. We're gonna turn east. I'm feeling east. Look at that. That's so cool, the way it does that. The sound of scurrying continues ahead of you, as well as the sound of heavy footsteps. Whatever is marching along the corridor can only be trouble. A few yards ahead, at the limit of the light cast by your lantern, you catch sight of a cleft in the tunnel wall. I will duck inside the cleft to hide. Shuttering your lantern, you wait with bated breath in the darkness. Without knowing how many creatures there are, I should stay out of sight. You listen intently as the footsteps come closer and then pass by your hiding place, without the owners of those footsteps ever knowing you were there. I feel like I don't want some random enemy wandering around in here, so I should probably take him out. I could stay hidden some more, but I think I'm gonna jump out and surprise what lurks in the corridor. Let's kick some ass. Rawr! Weapon drawn, you burst from your hiding place and surprise the 2 greenish creatures clad in rough leather armor patrolling the Warlock's domain. Orcs just like in Darkwood Forest. Luckily, they're cowardly and easy to overcome. Cowardly orcs, says the person who was just hiding. Alright. With the orcs caught unawares, you are able to wound one severely before the creature knows what is happening. With a heavy cleaving blade in one hand, the second orc is ready for you. Fight the orcs. So one of them is badly wounded. Alright, here they are. Very small space to fight in. There's a barrel. There's the two orcs. That's the one that's already wounded. You can see his health bar is shorter. I'm going to try a piercing strike right here and hope that they move into it. That one did. That guy's going to attack. I don't know if he can attack to the diagonal or not, though, so I'm going to move. Alright, we already took one of them out. We haven't been touched. I'm feeling this combat system. I'm feeling it. I killed them both! Didn't take a scratch. Victory! You were triumphant. You lost no stamina. You gained 4 souls. You have defeated the orcs. A quick search of the orcs' bodies turns up a handful of gold pieces. Alright, loot. A crude bone charm, and a half-eaten rat on a stick. Yum. Plus 5 gold pieces. I will take the orc's bone charm. You pocket the bone charm, trying not to retch as you get close to the orc's stinking corpse. Perhaps it will be useful later. Cautiously, you make your way further down the dank tunnel. Let's head down the east path. Bounce, bounce, bounce. The passageway soon comes to an end at a solid-looking wooden door. Trying to open it, the door refuses to budge. You listen at the door, but hear nothing. With a bit of force, I should be able to get through this door. Charge the door down, kick the door down, turn back. We're gonna kick it. You give the door a mighty kick, and it swings open easily. You are about to enter when you notice that the room is actually a pit. Had you charged the door, you'd be nursing a sore rump by now. Well, good thing we avoided that fate. Examining the pit, you notice that the sides are full of handholds, so it should not be difficult to climb back out. Alright, let's climb into the pit. Oh, there's the pit. Like how it even goes down in, like it's actually down a level. Looking around, you can see 2 cave entrances leading off from the pit opposite you. Moldering bones litter the floor, small piles of them stuck together in pools of fetid slime. You think back to your education on Dwarven architecture. See, now this part right here, she's only getting because she has that educated. None of the other characters would be getting this bit right here. Judging by the way this door led straight into a pit, the dwarves must have used this area for the disposal of refuse. You glance around the vile pit. Let's check out the cave to the left. You enter a small cave with slime dripping from its rough rock walls. A sickly, sweet smell assaults your senses as you enter. It is the smell of rotting meat. The remains of rats and even a half-eaten goblin lie in one corner. In another is a large joint of meat. It looks like whatever is using this place as a larder is saving this choice haunch of giant aardwolf for later. That's like a wolf that can do blasts of air out from it, like Geralt, because he's got the Ard sign. Aardwolf? I don't know. Alright, that sounds delicious. Let's take it. I can't imagine that goblin tasted very nice. Let's take the giant aardwolf meat. Although you don't fancy eating it yourself, it might prove to be of use to you somehow, elsewhere. You pick it up and put it in your pack. You leave the cave and return to the central pit. And if we check here, see, we've got the bone charm now, we've got the giant aardwolf meat, they're listed on our... Let's investigate the other cave. The first thing that hits you as you approach the cave is the stench, an unpleasant melange of mushrooms and rotting meat. Whatever was nearby, you sense that it has not strayed far from its home. I've smelled better latrines in Port Blacksand. Let's survey the murky cave. The stench from the cave is familiar. It reminds you of an adventure when you were just a young woman serving in the Queen's Guard, camping in Trolltooth Pass? No, further south than that. What was it? 2 hideous slime zombies have emerged from the goo. A slime beast, meanwhile, launches itself at you with its powerful hind legs. Uh-oh, slime beast. Fight the monsters. Alright, shit is getting serious. Alright, this looks a lot more serious. Look at that thing. It's like a slime beast. That thing attacks in an arc in front of it. This thing attacks straight ahead in front of it. Uh-oh. He's about to have problems. We's about to have problems. It attacked to the diagonal. I got nothing there. It's gonna attack me here. So I need to... Where do I think it's gonna move? I'm gonna attack right here. Nope. Uh-oh, I'm in trouble. If I move here, I'm still gonna get hit by its 2 frontal. If I move either here or here, this guy's gonna get me with his 2 frontal. I wonder if I can force a conflict, a clash. Oh, it didn't attack 2 frontal. Alright. Oh, I took the slime beast out! Alright, it's gonna attack... I don't know. I think I'll just attack it. It's gonna move here. Yes! Another victory! 3 enemies, none of them touched me. I'm feeling very spry right now. You lost no stamina, you gained 6 souls. You have defeated the monsters. Yay, so far I am kicking ass. The creature's dead. You wipe the disgusting ichor that passes for their blood from your weapon and investigate. Apart from sticky pools of acidic slime and various mounds of other, altogether more unpleasant material, there is nothing of interest here. You know, if you're altogether more unpleasant than acidic slime, that is really fucking unpleasant. That is a high degree of unpleasantness. When you're like, oh, acidic slime? Love that shit, compared to this. Yeah, alright, leave the slime beast lair. You leave the cave and return to the central pit. This is locked because we've already done it. Let's leave the pit altogether. And a little bouncing will get us out of there. You arrive back at the junction in the passage. You look left to see the cave entrance in the dim distance. What happens if I click this right now? Nothing happens when I click that. Okay, cool. Now we're going to walk straight on. Looks like there's an orc in there with a halberd waiting for us. A little way along the passageway, you come to what is clearly a sentry post. There's the black and white illustration of a sleeping orc or goblin or whatever he's supposed to be. A lot of detail. I like this art. And then we can see it in color. It really brings it to life. Very cool. You approach with caution and can see another orc, this time on his own, in leather armor, asleep at his post. I hope all of Zagor's minions are this lazy. This could be my quickest adventure yet. Carefully approach the sleeping orc. As he is asleep, it should be no trouble for you to wake him so you can get some information. Yeah, let's do it. Let's wake the orc and interrogate him. See, I happen to know, because I tested this out with a couple characters just at the very beginning of the adventure, that if you're not playing Alexandra, if you're playing one of the others, you do not have the option to wake the orc and interrogate him. You have different options instead. So it's just because of her personality or because she's educated or whatever that she gets this option. So it's kind of cool. You play it with different characters and you get different options in these choices. Really gives you a different experience each time. You prod the orc awake with the pommel of your sword. He leaps to his feet, flailing for his weapon, which you swiftly kick out of his reach. I am Alexandra of Blacksand. I seek the eye of the Cyclops. The orc seems to recognize you, or at least he recognizes your sharp sword and heavy armor. He does not speak the trade tongue, but his shrugging and sniveling make it clear that you are not going to get any useful information out of him. You tie him up and gag him. Continue along the passage, I guess. It deals with that guy without having to fight. The passageway begins to widen until you enter a cave. However, blocking the cave's exit are two of the ugliest creatures you have ever seen. They have the proportions of dogs, but their hide is rough and scaly. Each beast is chained to the cave wall, secured to their thick brass collars. Alright, so a couple scary, scaly Uggo dogs. That's what we're going to call them, Uggo dogs. Or Duggos. The two orc hounds, also known as Uggo dogs, begin to snarl and strain at their chains. They cannot reach you, but their chains are long enough that should you approach, you will not be able to escape their slavering jaws. I've come across these poor creatures before on previous quests. Orcs generally don't treat them very well, which can make them quite vicious. You are going to have to deal with them quickly, one way or another, before they attract the attention of an orc patrol, or maybe something even worse. So I could try to fight the two Uggo hounds, or I could distract them with some food. I think food sounds like a good idea. The orc hounds wait expectantly. Remembering your education on the beasts of Titan, you think back to the notes on orc hounds. Although vicious, they are easily distracted as long as you have the right treat. Giant aardwolf meat. How convenient. We happen to have that. What do you want to offer the animals? I could throw them some provisions, but I'm not going to. I will throw them the joint of meat. Taking the giant aardwolf joint from your backpack, you toss it towards the orc hounds. The hungry animals pounce on it immediately. They wrestle over the meat for a moment until they manage to tear it in half with their powerful jaws. Taking their prizes away to opposite sides of the cave, they leave the way through clear. Another fight avoided. Not hesitating for a second, you take the opportunity to sneak past the orc hounds as they noisily devour the rancid meat. Sneaking past. Leaving the cave as quickly as you can, you follow the new passageway as it turns north. Oh look, it's a bench. It even has the little sign, Rescue Here, Weary Traveler. That's really nice of the people that set up this dungeon to provide, like, rest spots for people. That's really considerate. There's the Rescue Here, Weary Traveler. There it is in color, looking good. Set against the wall is a wooden bench where you may rest. Player, I would strongly advise sitting on this bench. If you do not, Alexandra of Blacksand will not be able to resurrect at this location if they perish. Alright, I could eat some provisions if I want, but I don't need to because my stamina is already at full. So I will sit on the bench and rest. It basically gives me a save point here, in essence. You sit down on the bench and rest for a moment. Your aching muscles ease and your tiredness wanes. It is good to take a break on your adventure. Plus 5 stamina. Didn't need it because I was already at full. Continue along the passage. No, I do not wish to end current game. What I wish to do is continue along the passage. To your left, on the west face of the passage, there is a rough-cut wooden door. You listen at the door and can hear a rasping sound, which may be some sort of creature snoring. Let's check out the door. There's a room. There's a bed. There's a table. The room opens to reveal a small, smelly room. In the center of the room is a rickety wooden table on which stands a lit candle. Underneath the table is a small wooden box. Judging by the remains of the dwarven architecture, this room has not changed much from its original purpose. Sleeping quarters for the night watch. Proving that your educated guess is correct, you see a green-skinned orc asleep on a straw mattress. I wonder what's in that wooden box. Let's try to steal the box without waking the orc. Treading softly, you easily extract the wooden box from under the table. Your luck holds out as you easily back out of the room without waking the orc. That's 3 fights in a row avoided. You leave the room and open the box in the passage. A hidden compartment has been knocked loose, revealing a cache of gold pieces. There is also a small mouse, which must have been the creature's pet. Oh, do we have our own little mouse now? Plus 4 gold pieces. You release the mouse, which scurries off down the passageway. Oh, too bad. Farewell, mouse. Run, be free. Let's continue onward. Stand outside of Orcus' sleeping quarters. I feel like I should kill this. Leaving him alive, just he's gonna come up behind me at some point. Well, alright. I guess I don't murder creatures in their sleep. I guess I'm not that kind of adventurer. Follow the passage. I think some of the other characters do have the option to kill that orc, though. Just depends on which character you're playing, what options you have. You arrive at another door. You listen at it, but hear nothing. Let's try opening it. Another room falls into place. The door opens to reveal a small room with a stone floor and dirty walls. There is a stale smell in the air. Alright. In the center of the room is a makeshift wooden table, on which is standing a lit candle. Under the table is a small box. In the far corner of the room is a straw mattress. Alright. We leave no box unopened around here. Let's open the box. There are carved runes on the box. Due to your excellent education, you can roughly translate these into snake surprise. As you pick it up, something rattles within. Oh shit! It's a snake in a box! It's my snake in a box! It's my snake in a box! It's like that one song, except it's not about a snake. It's a snake in a box. That is a cool looking snake. I love snakes. I don't know that I'd be delighted to find a poisonous snake in a box, though, like that. You open the lid, and small snakes pop out of the box, eager to bite your wrist. Even though you are surprised, you manage to dodge them and fight the snakes. But why am I surprised? Because I just read that it said snake surprise on the box. I should have been expecting it. Fight the snakes, I guess. Oh shit, we got snakes all up on me. Alright, that one's going to attack, that one's going to move. It attacks to the diagonal. Interesting. Let's see if I can just hit it. It can only attack to the diagonal. That's convenient. Oh, now it's going to attack me here. I think it's going to move there now. Nope, it didn't. Alright, we took one of them out. This one's going to attack me here. It's going to move there. It didn't. Piercing strike. Stay where I am. It's going to attack to the diagonal. Took them all out. Didn't get touched. Yeah. Man, I'm good at the combat in this game. I haven't been hit once. You lost no stamina, you gained 4 souls, you have defeated the snakes! The box has fallen to the ground during your fight with the snakes. There appears to be nothing else inside it. It must have been a practical joke made by one of the orcs. Oh, that's hilarious, orcs. You decide to continue to head deeper into the orcs' barracks. Leave the empty room. So that room didn't have anything good for us, but we got some souls. Ooh, look at this. The tunnel turns eastward and then splits. Let's, let's go eastward. Oh, uh-oh, we got a big room full of bad guys. Oh, they got their own special music, too. You know this is serious. You follow the passage as it slopes downwards until you find yourself at the corner of a large chamber. The architecture suggests that this was originally made by dwarven hands, but it has clearly been repurposed by the orcs. It appears to have been turned into some kind of training hall. Dotted around the chamber are a number of wooden posts that bear the marks of axes and other weapons. A cacophonous din echoes around the hall as green-skinned creatures in leather armor either strike the posts with their swords or each other with wooden cudgels. You guessed this is what passes for a training session among the brutish orcs. If I keep to the shadows at the edges of the hall, I might be able to enter unseen. At the eastern end of the chamber, there are 2 doors. Halfway along the north wall of the hall is another doorway secured by an iron gate. Oh, I have lots of options here. Alright, burst into the room and take on all the orcs with overwhelming odds. That actually sounds really fun, but probably will result in my death. How many orcs did they say were in here? It doesn't really say how many there are, but apparently it's a bunch. Let's sneak to the doors at the east end of the chamber. Let's be super sneaky. Keeping close to the wall, you begin to make your way around the edge of the chamber towards the far end of the hall. Test your skill. Alright, so what this is going to do right now, as we read earlier, I'm going to roll 2d6, and I have to roll a 10 or lower, which is, it's very unlikely that I won't succeed. I'd have to roll an 11 or a 12 on 2d6, which is very unlikely. Roll those dice. Roll those dice. Roll those dice. I got it. Skillful. You needed a score of 10 or under and rolled a score of 4. You sneak past the orcs. Yay, I bounce past the orcs. Fortunately, you make it to the far side of the chamber without any of the orcs noticing. One door has a dented shield nailed to it, while the other has with a battered helmet hanging from it. Poor creatures, their eyesight must be as bad as their ears. She feels like pity for the orcs. She's very nice, this Alexandra of Black Sand. Let's check out the door with the battered shield. You find yourself inside a moderately sized chamber and are immediately hit by a wall of heat. On the far side of the chamber is a crude forge, its coals glowing red hot. In front of it, a heavy-set orc is hammering out the dents in a damaged breastplate over an anvil. Alright, so we have an orc blacksmith here. Nearby are 2 goblin assistants. One of them is eagerly watching its master repairing the armor, while the other is cowering in fear in the corner. Evidently, this miserable creature has been recently punished. It's warm in here. Not sure I want to hang around. Hearing you enter, the orc armorer looks up, an angry expression on his ugly face. Apparently, I have only one option here, and that is to face the armorer. Surprised, giving an angry bellow, the orc armorer charges at you, his scorched leather apron flapping about him, his heavy hammer raised ready to deal you a fatal blow. The goblins shriek with glee as they rush over, no doubt to curry favor with their master. So I guess I'm gonna have to fight them all. This is a cool little room to fight in. I like how each battlefield actually has all the stuff that, you know, like the anvils and forges and everything. Alright, we've got a couple goblins here. And we've got the big orc armorer. Hello, Anonymous. Good to see you. How you doing, Anonymous? What's going on? Obviously, you hop while sneaking. The less your legs touch the ground, the less noise. Duh. Yeah, it does make sense. It does make perfect sense. Let's move here. So the goblins can attack diagonally, but the question is, can they attack undiagonally? I'm gonna try here and hope. But this one's gonna attack me here, I think. I think I'm just gonna do a piercing strike and hit them both because I can. Maybe that guy can only attack diagonally. I don't know where to move this time. I'm gonna move here. Now I'm gonna attack here. Alright, we took one of them out. I don't know where this guy's gonna attack. I don't know that he attacks it. He'll probably do some kind of sweeping cleave thing, which will hit. I should probably just move here. Alright, now he's gonna attack me straight up. And I can't move this way because there's a table in the way. So I guess my best bet... Well, let's try to get slick and get out of his attack. Nope, now he did the sweeping cleave thing. I've finally been hit! That's my first... Oh no, I'm in a bad spot here too. I'm kind of trapped. Let's get this guy out of here. Oh no, I hit nothing. If he does another sweeping cleave thing, I mean, now he only has 7 skill, so I have a decent chance of beating him in a straight-up clash. Here we go, clashing. Yeah, I beat him. Alright, I've been hit. This guy, I don't think he's going to attack me. Let's try it again. Come on, big roll. Yeah, beat him again. Feeling good about this. Looks like he's going to move this time. So I'm going to attack right here. Oh, I took him out! It's just me and this goblin now. This goblin, I think, can only attack diagonally. I'm just going to attack him right here. Yeah, it looks like he can only attack diagonally. So as long as I don't move to a diagonal of him, I'm going to do a piercing strike in case he moves straight back. And he did, and I still hit him. Alright, cool. I didn't do a perfect victory, unlike the last several fights, where I didn't get hit at all. I did get hit. I've lost 2 stamina now, but I still did pretty well there, considering it was 3-on-1. You have defeated the Orc Armory. You lost 2 stamina, you gained 6 souls. The battle done, you quickly search the armorer's room and find the Orc's loot inside a small chest. You scoop up the coins and stash it in your pack. Wow, plus 12 gold pieces. That is a lot of money. It seems this stinking Orc was well paid. With nothing else of interest in the armory, you decide to leave. Anonymous says, not being able to attack someone right in front of you seems like not very good combat training. I know, right? Like, you can only attack at a weird angle. Well, they are goblins. You can now choose to investigate the other rooms off the training hall, or you can leave. Let's check out the door with the helmet. You find yourself in a cramped room full of battered helmets, rusting halberds, and suits of leather armor. The contents of the armory is inferior compared to what you were wearing, but it strikes you that if you wear a few choice items on over the top of your own gear, you might be able to pass yourself off as an orc. Ah, this is interesting. Should I disguise myself as an orc? I kind of don't think so. It might be useful to, like, sneak past some orcs or something, but I don't really feel it. I don't really feel like Alexandra of Blacksand would do this. She would find it distasteful, so we're going to leave it behind. With no desire to wear inferior armor which reeks of orc, you decide to leave the armor behind. You plan your next move. Leave the orc armory. Minus 10 HP from the smell. I know, right, Anonymous? Smelling good is its own reward. Alright, let's investigate the gateway to the north. That's up here. Apparently we're super sneaky. They still don't notice us. The orcs are so engrossed in what they are doing and making so much noise while they are doing it that they do not notice you as you make your way to the iron gate, open it, and enter the small room beyond. At its center stand what looks like scarecrows made of battered armor, their supporting poles sunk in a strange arrangement of wooden cogs and gears. As the gate swings shut behind you, the training quintains shudder as they activate. Your education has taught you about such strange constructs. These quintains are constructed by magical means by sorcerers for training their troops. You brace yourself for an attack. Well, are they animated by magic, or are they mechanical with cogs and gears? You gotta kind of decide. It's one or the other. I don't like this mixing. Alright, ooh, I can use that post maybe to my advantage. Alright, they're both gonna move forward, I think. That one's gonna move over there. That one's gonna attack me. Oh shit, I was wrong. And they attack like in a big arc, I think. I just took another hit. Well, that's unfortunate. How nice of them to train you for free. I know, right? Alright, let's do a quick jab here. Let's do a piercing strike here. Let's try to get away from this one's attack if I can. Oh, he destroyed that pillar. Let's move again. I think he's going to attack here, or move here, I mean. Not bad. I did take a hit there, but only one. Victory, you are triumphant. I'm down to 15 stamina. Lost 1 stamina, gained 4 souls. You've defeated the Quintains. The Quintains eventually grind to a halt, your blows having irreparably ruined the wooden workings. You find nothing of use in the training room. Well, that's unfortunate. Let's leave the Orcs training hall entirely. We'll just bounce the fuck out of here. I gotta bounce! When my character says she's gotta bounce, she means it literally. Making your way back to the western side of the hall, you decide to take the northerly of the 2 exits available to you, reasoning that this one will take you deeper into the mountain more quickly. Alright. Let's continue onwards then. Uh-oh. We've got it. You arrive at the end of the passage at a 3-way junction. Looks like we've got another choice which way to go. This looks like it just goes to a door. This looks like it goes, like, you know, the distance. I feel like I should go west this time. But that is going to happen in our next episode. It's going to do it for this one. So next time we'll continue exploring the dungeon here of the Warlock of Firetop Mountain. That's all for now. Thank you for watching. This has been Josiah Plays the Warlock of Firetop Mountain.